Good afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook and YouTube. Just go to your Facebook page, look us up, or hit see first to see and hear all the great programs that we have here on WNHHLP. And Cannabis Corner is also streaming live on the Greenhaven Media Facebook and YouTube page and procannabismedia.com. Make sure you check us out and go subscribe and like us over there as well. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, December 16th, 2024. Welcome to Cannabis Corner. I am your host, Joe LaChance, Joe the Weed Guy, and I am joined here today, of course, by the one and only Uncle Lou, Farmer Lou. How are you today, my friend?
I am doing quite well, my good brother, doing quite well. Doing the old travels of all over the state today for work, so I'm joining from the inside of my truck today. I had to go down to Brooklyn and all the way back up to New Haven. So definitely been on the road since 6 a.m. and excited to be doing all of this. You know, I really been super excited about all the things that are going on in the space, and I'm really excited to be here today, Joe.
You're gearing up now, aren't you? You're gearing up. Yeah, it's big gear up time for
coming
you.
soon.
Very
February.
nice.
We're looking at early February. So, those that are listening, you know, it's just part of what we do here. Everybody's been awesome and has kept up with the journey of Nautilus Botanicals. And we'll be opening up our hybrid use facility in New Haven in the beginning of September. So it's been, in the beginning of February. I've been saying it's been such a journey. It's just such a journey. Ups, downs, stressful, you know, smiles and tears.
We've documented it, and I've seen it firsthand. I've been over to your site.
Yeah.
The construction was progressing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's progressed since we saw it, but it's great. I mean, you know, this is it. You got to build it brick by brick. I know you've had obstacles and various different things come up.
Yeah.
But every one you've overcame. And I think that little glimmer of light there now is coming at the end of that tunnel.
That's what I'm hoping for, brother. I'm hoping for it. So
That's
the
nice,
whole idea of mom and pop
That's
is
it.
still
and just
kind of
let
alive.
people know this is a single owner, you know, shop here. This is mom and pop, like you say.
Well, there's no mom anymore, but you know,
it's pop.
Pop with a big ass, big loan, lots of debt, lots of debt.
That's all right.
You know, it's part of it's part of what this industry is, or any business. You know, you end up doing what you got to do to make sure to try to do what we can. You know what I mean? And I'm really excited. It is a dream come true. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just starting up the hiring phase. I'm really excited because now, you know, I'm closing in on the pharmacists that are going to be joining us, and I've had one gentleman in mind for one of the management positions. I've spoken with him a couple of times. He's kept in touch, so we're looking forward to him joining the team as well. Once that really goes on, I haven't really extended those formal invitations yet. We got 265 applications for bud tenders. I have about 15.
You got mine in there, right?
Yeah, you got yours in there, Joe. So, there were
brand ambassador.
That's right. You know what? There were a couple people who really have been on the trail for the very long time. So we got about 6 people that are just coming from that legacy team that are transferring over and kind of spilling in some of those places till other places open up. And, you know, as we continue to push in, and then, you know, wanted to bring in some of the local community. So we have, just from the local New Haven area, we got about 150 applications from the local area. And that's the idea, you know, cannabis should be offering opportunities to the local communities that we're putting them in. You know,
Right.
the state required us to put a lot of these places in disproportionately impacted areas, and it's providing jobs for individuals in that space, creating full on create
Yeah,
careers.
that's right.
So we're trying to really make sure to do that, and I'm standing in the forefront of it. And you know, not to joke about it, but to completely say we heard the message loud and clear, and it's something that we've been yelling for forever. You know, and I will joke about some of those things. If the eyebrows don't fit, you must have quit. You know what I mean? And we'll
Right.
throw out there and jury nullification if you know a CEO who was only worried about taking care of investors got pewed. You know, then
Let's move on. I don't. I'm not going there. Um.
I'm not gonna be that CEO.
Anyway,
Hey,
I
Current events.
you
had a
know, it
nice
is current
weekend.
events.
I
You had a
wanted
good
to.
weekend.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about an event I went to Saturday, which was the seed swap over at Better
Oh yeah.
Ways.
Did you happen to see our good friend
I did, Mr.
Lupino
Pino.
from Gene Traders?
We had a nice chat. He's going to come on the
Nice.
show. You know what I think I want to do for the show in March and April is just really focus on growing, genetics, grow stores.
Sounds about right. It's
Yeah,
not something that
just
we
every week, just have a different aspect of growing on to lead up to this year's season, you know?
yeah, and you know, we gave away a bunch of those seeds, and if you
Yeah.
didn't get your seeds, I know Joe's got a bunch of them floating
Yep.
around, so just make sure you give that reminder, hey, it's there. But Joe's out in the community all the time, so
So it was very
definitely.
nice. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
very
yeah,
nice. I
yeah.
want to give him a shout out because it was a well put together event. They had a good attendance. A lot, it was very good. I can just say I was very impressed with the event. I hope he does more of them, and I hope he can do more of them across the state. And then I went to the Burn and Learn Christmas party on Sunday, and that was also very nice.
Yeah.
That was Sarah's birthday as well, and she's going to be on the show a little bit later. So
Very
we'll have
nice.
to wish her happy birthday. Yeah, but that's nice. It's the holidays. Some good and nice events. It's always nice to get out there in the community. I brought a giant box of swag as a
Oh,
giveaway,
okay.
like a grab bag for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
Swag
yeah,
that I'd collected, from all the conventions and all
yeah,
kinds of,
yeah.
yeah, it was very nice. It was very, very nice. I felt in the holiday spirit. But speaking of events, Kristen, how
Hello,
are you?
hello.
Welcome to Kristen's Corner over here in the corner. Classic Kristen. Kristen Souza, how are you today and what's going on with you?
I am good. I came on festive. I'm wearing my Fa La La Llama holiday sweater.
There we
Very
go.
You gotta
cool.
embrace the season. I haven't been feeling super festive, so what makes you feel better than a puffy, ugly red sweater? So that's where
A
I'm
red
at.
shirt, right? All right, very
Yeah.
good. So how was your weekend and what's happening around the state?
It was good. I mean, I feel like this time of year, I don't tend to go out a lot. It's very cold, so I kind of hunkered down a little bit this weekend, but that is all right by me. I'm trying to think. Only one thing I wanted to mention, kind of a recap that I thought was pretty interesting. The Connecticut Cannabis Chamber of Commerce had its monthly community meeting last Thursday. And so each monthly meeting, we invite a special guest on. Sometimes it's someone that's ancillary, someone that's doing something in the industry. So this week we had the woman who is the attorney behind the lawsuit where a number of smoke shops are suing the state of Connecticut for the definition of hemp in the state of Connecticut. And it was really interesting having her on the call. She couldn't get too much into it for client confidentiality purposes, but a very high level explanation of what she's pushing for, why this lawsuit is happening in Connecticut. And they offer to connect with her if you feel like you've been impacted by that, whether you're a
Oh, yeah.
business, a manufacturer, a patient, a consumer. So her name is Genevieve. And if you reach out to the CCSBA, the email is on their website. But certainly, if you'd like to connect with her, she did put that offer out. And that lawsuit is in direct response to some new cannabis laws that are going into effect on January 1st,
Yes.
one of which being moderate THC products now have to be sold in licensed dispensaries. So this is sort of the tail end of that hemp nonsense we were talking about this time last year, to be honest. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. A little bit nerding out on
Yeah.
the law stuff, but I love that. So
16, I think she said 16 different smoke shops
yeah, I think you're right.
were doing a lawsuit against the state. And I wish them all the luck in the world because they created a quagmire out of something that was already defined by the feds and could have been very, very simple. But the state decided to create a giant quagmire. And I'm glad some of these smoke shops and CBD retailers are stepping up and trying to protect their business. So I wish them all the luck in the world. And you're right, it was a very interesting call. That was a very, very interesting and eye-opening call that day.
I was saying she's a spitfire. I wouldn't want to go against her in court.
I would love her as my lawyer. I'll tell you that.
Keep her on our good side. Yeah, for sure. As far as upcoming events, I don't know that I have.
I do.
Go ahead. Yeah, you go. And if I have anything, I'll add to it.
Okay. Tomorrow. Oh, no, this Thursday at noon. Shangri-La, our good friend Jocelyn in South Norwalk, is having their grand opening. And that is at 75 Connecticut Avenue in Norwalk, Connecticut. So that's this Thursday. Jocelyn has been a member of the cannabis community long before it was legal. And she has been very, very active in the community as well. And this is the one that is going to have the drive-through. So it would be pretty cool to go down there from 12 to 4. That's on Thursday in South Norwalk on Connecticut Avenue. And then this Saturday at 6:30, Better Ways is hosting a movie night, Medicated Miyakaze movie night. I have no clue what that is, but I do know the Dab Bar is being powered by High Tide, so it should be good. I guess. Do either of you know what Miyakaze movie is? I do not. But it sounds like fun.
It's anime.
It sounds like anime to me. This is going to be at Better Ways. It's going to 6:30 p.m. this Saturday. So that's a very unique thing. Very, very cool. But as far as other events, our next guest, who has been waiting, has some events that are going on that she wanted to highlight and spotlight. And rather than run them down through a calendar, I'd rather let her come on and explain them to us herself. So this on the line with us is Jill McCaffrey. And Jill, after 10 years of struggling with rheumatoid arthritis and other autoimmune diseases, Jill began practicing yoga and meditation. Her NP explained that her symptoms would only get worse if she didn't start a restorative practice that kept her body strong. This led to Jill complete a 180 on her entire lifestyle. Jill went from GM of one of the biggest liquor stores in New York State to startup yoga business owner. The road has been a bumpy one, but the goal is a bright guiding light to bring yoga as many people as she can. Yoga heals, and if Jill could do it, so can you. These days, she's sharing her yoga practice and pairing it with the love of plant medicine brings her most joy. She teaches her students how yoga and meditation can elevate the person's quality of life, helping them find a restorative and sustainable practice of their own. Welcome, Jill. How are you today? You're muted. There you are.
How are you?
Good.
Hi, Kristen.
It's nice to see you again, have you on the show again.
I have to get you a shorter bio. I'm so sorry. When I sent
that was fine.
I thought that it was
you should see some of the ones I get.
Online stuff. And I didn't realize the last time I was on that you'd be reading it on air. And so my apologies. I will get you a shorter bio.
All good, so you should see some of the ones I get. They're 5 paragraphs long. I have to edit them.
And hi, Lewis. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to Lewis before. How are you guys doing today?
Good. So you have some stuff coming up, a few events, but also, I believe, a yoga training, correct?
Yeah.
You have some bunch of stuff coming up that you wanted to spotlight, because obviously this time of year, people are stressed out. Mm-hmm. They don't, the holidays can be one of two things. They could be a joyous, happy time for people, or they could be a very stressful time. Mm-hmm. So this could be a good time for people to start a yoga practice or maybe start a new career. So I know you had some stuff coming up that you want to talk about. So Tell us a little bit about what's happening.
Hi. Okay. So, one thing. So, sorry, I need to preface this with my kids are here with me, and so I'm just filling a bottle.
Oh, okay.
Um, so we have had a number of events going on. This past weekend was awesome. We did Canna Yoga at the Jersey Shore, and we did Canna Yoga at in East Hartford at the Munchie Face Treat Suite in
Yeah, I
East
saw that. Tell us a little bit about what is Munchie Face Sweet Treat.
So Munchie Face Treats, they are a whole wellness brand, really, and they have a space that they do some wellness practices out of, and they have some really amazing products for people to try out. And so they host Canna Yoga. We try to get in once a month, but it's just so happened that it's been once every 2 months recently. So we did one, let's see, it's in October, and we just had one yesterday. And our next one is on February 16th. That just went up today. If anybody wants to go onto my website, saltandoilyoga.com, you can buy tickets there. That's East Hartford and the surrounding areas. But my closest Canna Yoga that's coming up is with Urban Legends in New Canaan, and that's on January 7th. So Urban Legends and Starlight Social have kind of come together to help sponsor these Canna Yoga sessions. We've had a really, really great response from the Lower Connecticut community. And we work out of a greenhouse. It's absolutely beautiful. If you go onto my Instagram, you'll see all the pictures. They're like the really pretty ones. Aside from that, we've got the Fine Fettle Flow, which is obviously sponsored by Fine Fettle, coming up in February, and that's going to be at Illicit Brewery. I have a vision board workshop. That's going to be a wake and bake session coming up in January on January 19th. And one of the bigger things that I'm working on right now is that we are going to be going through a rebrand come January 1st. We are putting away the Salt and Oil Yoga name, and we're going to forever and here on out be called the Canna Yoga Company. We are really leveling up and niching down because the Canna Yoga community is just really chomping at the bit for more Canna Yogas. And so because of that, we've created a Canna Yoga certification.
Okay, yeah, this is what you wanted to talk about. Tell us a little bit about that. This is how you can actually become an instructor, right?
Right. So we are inviting yoga teachers. A prerequisite for this is that you have to already be a yoga teacher, a certified 200-hour yoga teacher. If you are, reach on out to me. I have an area on my website that allows you to shoot me an email, and I will give you all the information about when the course is going to be, how much it's going to be. There's going to be more information on my website about it come January 1st, but I'm just sort of like putting out the information so that the buzz can start buzzing.
Right. So basically, what you're trying to do is spread the concept of Canna Yoga and the techniques of you know how it all works.
Yeah,
And you get new instructors out there doing it. People who've already been in a community, may have a following, may already be working at a studio or whatever, to spread basically the good word of Canna Yoga. You're trying to build a little army there, aren't you?
Exactly. So we have created a really thoughtful sequence that helps people go through the Canna Yoga experience, and it enhances the entire situation. So essentially, you're not going to be doing proper Canna Yoga unless you're doing it with the Canna Yoga Company and a certified Canna Yoga Company teacher. So they'll know the sequence, they'll know the prerequisites for picking a location, because if you've noticed, the locations that we always choose are these very beautiful, nature-oriented spaces.
Right, yes.
So like East Hartford is indoors, but it's on the side of a beautiful, beautiful river. If you can hear the water rushing, like there are aspects to each location that really enhance the whole flow. And so what we'll do is we'll teach you the foundations of Canna Yoga, the sequence, the how to choose the location. And with that, once you graduate from the Canna Yoga certification program, you then gain the access to the Canna Yoga teacher community, and you can start really becoming an influencer in the Canna culture in your area.
Very, very interesting. Sort of like franchising, but
Sort of,
not
but not,
quite.
yeah. More just teaching and, like you said, spreading the good word, because it has helped hundreds of people since I've started.
Right. Now, have you gotten a good response? Have you gotten some acceptance from the general yoga community when you are out promoting this to, let's say, other instructors? Do you find them more receptive?
Yes,
Then
I think the general feel is that we're doing something really interesting at least, but at most really interesting and fun, and we're bringing new people to yoga, which is sort of overall a good for the whole yoga community.
right. And yeah, you're right. Exactly. You're bringing some of the cannabis community into yoga. And now I'm thinking the other reverse now. You'll also be bringing some of the yoga community into cannabis, right?
Yeah.
You will. No, that's the way I look
Exactly.
at it. I'm looking to grow the cannabis community.
Yes.
So the more yoga teachers we got within the cannabis community, right? The
Mhm.
more healthier people, the more mindful people we have within the cannabis community.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's
Yoga
a trickle down effect.
Yoga people are the kind of people that any community wants in their community.
Right.
They're good stewards of the earth. They tend to be mindful and thoughtful. The yoga people are just really an amazing group of people, and so are cannabis users. So
Right. So
it's
this is a
good
great
marriage.
way to join the two. You know, this is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That the more we can bring in these other similarly like-minded, like meditation, yoga, natural eating, whole foods, growing your own food, all these things that kind of fit under one umbrella, the more we can bring them in to the cannabis community, the bigger the cannabis community gets, and then eventually the community is the cannabis community.
Mhm.
So-
Exactly, just the whole community.
Right. That's
And
the way I think, exponentially.
And so with that, one of the better things about what I only started this business 2 summers ago. And so, I've massaged it and it's become this thing outside of myself, and it's so exciting. But one of the things that I've realized is that I bring together this great community in different parts of our state and other states, and we can market to them. We can, bring new products to them. We can really do whatever we want with this community and educate them about what's out there and how to use things properly and how to consume responsibly and
Yeah.
the new exciting stuff that's out there. One of my favorite things that I've heard in the last few years while I've been doing this is Lewis's venture and the possibility of craft growers and a lot of exciting new stuff in that vein. And so I think I'd really like to concentrate there,
Concentrate. Speaking of that, hey, I'd like to bring Sarah in right now on the discussion. You all probably know each other. Sarah works with C Creations, but I have a bio for her too. Sarah has been crafting smoking accessories out of resin since 2018, which then developed into content creating specifically weed content in 2022. She's also been working in the cannabis industry since she graduated college in 2019. Sarah worked in both the farm setting at Running Book Farms and in Killingworth growing hemp, and in the retail setting at Better Ways in Brantford. Sarah is now out plying her craft, doing paint and sips, Mod Podge, very great events, and still also doing her craft, selling them at various events. Welcome, Sarah. How are you?
I'm great.
And you guys know each other, Sarah, Jill. I kind of thought we should maybe have a little cool group discussion here. Since you guys are both doing events, you're out there in the community. Sarah, you're doing a little bit different thing. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing out there.
So I've started doing a lot of paint and puffs, both with Burn and Learn and at Better Ways in Brantford. And basically, there's a dab bar at the Burn and Learn. You can actually smoke inside, like your joints and everything. At Better Ways, it's a dab bar, and it's basically the same as like a sip and paint. You're drinking wine and painting, but this time you're smoking cannabis and painting instead.
Right. So here's another thing where we're talking about the yoga community with Jill, and now here we're bringing kind of the crafting community. People who would normally go to a paint and sip can now go to a paint and puff.
Well, you know, Joe, the idea is that the creative juices are flowing, you know, so.
That's right. That's why I wanted to bring everybody all in on a little discussion here, because I'm kind of thinking the same way. The more things like this we do out there, right, in the various areas of the state, in different venues, the more we spread the good word. And the more,
No, you're right, Joe. What it is that the market's starting to mature. And as the market matures and more people are more comfortable in the space and sharing that they consume cannabis, the more that it's becoming mainstream, and this is the time for it to happen. And I think both of our guests are great individuals and great representatives of both their crafts as well as the community. So it's really an opportune time to have this happen. It's been, like Joe was saying, been massaging it, growing it to life little by little. Same thing with Sarah. I remember Sarah at all the events and really making it happen. So this is that time to really go forward. I can picture both individuals branching out from their individual locations where they are now to really blowing up even more regionally. So I'm really excited to have both guests on. The market's here, the time is here, the community is here. I did the swap trade gift thing this weekend, and I was not the only person to put an eighth of weed inside the grab bag, so that we're seeing more people. We're seeing more people start to do this, and it's a really awesome thing. I know Sarah does a whole variety of crafts and marijuana and cannabis, and definitely get those creative juices flowing. I want to ask, do you guys see individually, both please answer, do you guys see from when the artwork or crafting or meditating or yoga, the event that's happening, are you noticing a much more fluid community, much more ease into the fun with cannabis as part of the recipe?
I mean, for me personally, I do. I have surprisingly for me, a lot of elderly, like 40-year-olds that come through to do the paint and puffs, which was surprising. I thought it was going to be.
Did you just say elderly 40-year-olds?
Sorry.
I am 41.
But I really thought I was going to get millennials, the younger 20-year-olds that I was
I got you. Not what you were thinking about.
No, it just completely surprised me. And it's just like, it's all these women that they used to do the wine and paints, and it's like they hated it. They didn't like going with their friends, and most of the time they had to pay for the bottle of wine as is. Mm-hmm. When we have complimentary dab bar or the Burn and Learn, you get a complimentary joint when you come in. Right. And I mean, it's a huge, just smoking at the beginning, it's a huge icebreaker for them, because they come in, most of people come through, it's only them. They don't bring friends. I've been getting more friend groups coming through, but most of the time it was solo starting out, and I thought that was so cool, and it was just an icebreaker. And then everyone's like, "Oh, I'm high. Let's get going. And they would compare their stuff. Like it's just a fluid thing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I'm sure you want to do more of them around. And you know what you did that I thought was great? Mod Podge. And nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
I do, but
So,
those are the kind of things I think I told you got to do macrame. Some of these old school things coming back, you'll get the even older crowd, my age, coming in. And those are the ones
I'm gonna take up
who
knitting.
use cannabis. And I'm saying this to both of you, actually, right?
Joe, you're saying that I don't want anybody ever to refer to a 40-year-old as an old person again. All right. That I am.
It was almost as bad as when my OBGYN told me I had a geriatric pregnancy.
Sarah, you're not living this one down. I'm gonna tease you endlessly.
that's fine. I'll take it to the grave. It's
But
fine.
I will admit to my new hobby.
See?
CrossFit.
This is what I'm saying. And if you promote it out to the right people, you will get quote unquote mainstream people or people who used to go to paint and sips. And same thing with yoga. Normal people maybe went to yoga, maybe didn't have a great experience with it because they went at the gym or they went to a crappy studio and they said, oh, but with weed, it might be good. Maybe I'll try it again.
So with yoga, there's been like a ton of stigma breaking. It's been awesome. Also with just myself being able to be like, I am the mom of 4. I live in the suburbs and I own a company that we smoke pot and do yoga. Like that's like how I tell people what I do. It's a lot of stigma breaking. But on the same thread as Sarah, my client base is everywhere from early 20s all the way to I have like 70-year-olds doing yoga coming in. They love canna friendly yoga. They really do. It's sort of like the great equalizer, cannabis. Everybody does it. Maybe not everybody's talking about it, but everybody's smoking pot.
And everybody's kind of even a little more open to trying it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even older people who hadn't smoked it since the 70s or, they got married and had a family and so they stopped smoking it, whatever. Now that they're in their 50s and 60s, they're like, oh, well, I smoked it before. It didn't really do anything bad to me. Now it's legal. I got nothing to worry about getting arrested. So my kids won't have a father in jail or whatever. I think that, and of course, these are the type of people who are now interested in leisure activities like yoga, like painting, things like that. And to mix it with cannabis is like just a no-brainer because, alcohol, I don't think it has the universal appeal.
Alcohol is on its way
cannabis has. I agree. It's on its way out.
I actually had one of my friend's moms who went to a holiday paint and sip with the alcohol, and she's like, honestly, it was like the worst experience I've had. I don't recommend. I'm not going again. I'll probably come to your paint and puff, Sarah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she's like 68 and she's like hyped to come. Like,
yeah, and that's it. And I think the more opportunities we have for this, God, wouldn't it be nice? And this is obviously a pie in the sky dream to be able to go into a senior center, right? And do yoga with them with a little canna yoga with the seniors.
That would be amazing.
They love to paint and do crafts, right? I guarantee you, boy, if we could start getting this to seniors, their golden years would be so much more enjoyable.
I think that's a great idea. And honestly, there's tons of articles about this. And Dr. Ben Kaplan did something recently talking about it. Joyce Gerber talks about it a lot too, is that age demographic of folks that might be in retirement homes or assisted living homes are actually an up and coming demographic for legal cannabis purchases. They a certain subset of them, the stigma was always there. And now they're seeing their kids, their grandkids. It's legal now. So that whole like book of the law thing, but it's very helpful for things like early onset Alzheimer's and a lot of physical disabilities. So I don't think it would be challenging right now, but I actually don't see that being such a far-fetched idea. And it would really be a great targeted area,
Yeah, for
whether it's
both things.
I was going to
You're
say whether
really
it's
not
yoga
wrong.
or arts and crafts because
They love them both.
yeah.
So
My mom
what-
used to do Tai Chi down at her senior center. It was a
Yeah,
little
so that's
slow.
no, Joe, you're right on par. You know, we send pharmacists into these facilities to have the pharmacists and nurses to have the conversations. You know, you and I went to that last training event,
That's
and
right.
you know, so we do have individuals that are going in under the education premise that now, you know, this is another part of it. You know what I mean? So now we compare that education with a crafts person, and boom, there you go. Nautilus Botanicals will sponsor it.
There
If
we
someone
go.
that's going into senior centers, I would be happy to volunteer my time to come in and do yoga sessions to introduce people to this plant medicine. Because it does what, especially, so I have rheumatoid arthritis and a number of chronic pain issues. It sets the tone for my body to be able to move. Like it
Absolutely.
allows you to relax a little bit more so that you're able to get into yoga poses that you might not be able to without it.
Oh, absolutely. No, I totally agree. And even mentally, I think it would help them, let's say, in the craft area. I can imagine the stuff they'd be painting if they were stoned. You know?
Oh my God, yeah. I have a friend who works in a retirement home in Madison, and she has some patients who have their medical cards in the dementia unit, actually. And they have the edibles that they take with their med card and everything. And she's like, they're the most active people doing the activities. Like, they're so happy to be doing puzzles, and they're giggling about doing puzzles, and then they're giggling about drawing and all the different colors they're using. Like, they're having the grand old time just taking their edibles and doing the activities that they have set for the day.
See, now that's interesting. I did not know. And this is a retirement home.
Yeah.
They're allowing them to use cannabis
Yep.
because they have their medical card.
If you have your med card, yeah.
So that's interesting. So there's another way if you have enough patients at a retirement home who would be interested, there's another way you could actually bring it in to where you could gather those patients and do a canna yoga session.
Oh my God, yeah, they would love it too.
Yeah.
And really do some good, you know?
Yeah. And being close to that demographic, I really see the need for it. It's almost something that I'd like to get involved in myself to help people, you know, my
Well,
own age
when I was
or
going-
a little older, you know.
Yeah,
Don't
when I was
threaten
going
you
to
with a good
college,
time, Joe
I-
LaChance. I'd love to get you into a canna yoga session. You too,
No, I'll
Kristen.
never.
And
I
Liz,
still have to go. Every time I see it, I'm like, all right, I'm going to make it to that one, and then something comes up. So
Joe, we'll
you're like-
carpool. Don't worry.
All right, we'll carpool.
I have a yoga mat. I'm going to be real honest, though. You're going to have to help a girl with a lot of these poses, Jill.
I promise
Yeah,
you,
walk
the
me
cannabis
through
will
it.
help.
We could always set up a little private one. We've got a little venue down there in Milford.
Oh my God,
We
we
could
could
use the
tape
Grove.
it. We could video it and put
You
it on.
know I'm going to do that.
No, seriously, but there's venues we could do that at. You know, I'd like to try it. I've done yoga before.
I'm having an
Um,
epiphany.
It's very difficult for me. I'll be honest with you.
Let's hold a cannabis corner, canna yoga session. You guys like sponsor it. We'll find a location and it'll be for your listeners.
Listen,
We'll shoot it live. We'll do it live and
We
broadcast
can do it live.
just wait.
100%.
We will.
How many people you
all
want?
this online. We'll do this all offline so everybody can finish their things. But the Grove is back in action. Joe had his first event there. Sarah, we'd love to have you down. Joe,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you down. You know, Joe's already. We
I'm
got this in
speaking
the
with him
works.
tonight, actually, about doing more bookings down there.
We
So
got it all in the works, guys. So we're excited, and let's continue. So, what other events? I know that we have a vision board coming from Joe, and then Sarah. What other events are you looking to do other than the hodgepodge and the paint nights that we have going on? Are there any upcoming ones that you have that our listeners can hopefully get? You know,
or ones that you want to start. You know?
yeah.
Well, I do have a puff and paint tomorrow at the Burn and Learn. Tomorrow
Very
night.
good.
There we
Yeah.
go. Buy
And
your
we're going to be
tickets,
doing
guys.
ornaments, actually. We're doing ornaments.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Plastic
wow.
ornament balls, and we're going to fill them with paint and do the fluid paint inside of the ornament ball.
Oh, wow. Very,
Yeah.
very cool. So there we go. Tomorrow night, Burn and
Yeah.
Learn. Sarah's going to be down there with the ornament balls. and I'm sure they'll be cannabis themed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you squeeze a little bud inside those balls and stuff?
I'm
Why
sure.
not, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, I may stop up there.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be fun.
What else you got
Yes,
going on?
bud.
Anything else?
Nothing much going on. I've been doing a lot of work with Polly through Breakfast Connections out in New York
Okay.
with his legal blunts. So I've been really busy with that. But I'm looking to do another paint and puff at Better Ways in January, and then I am looking to do like macrame, and that's one that is like I'm trying to figure out how to do it right because that's a hard one.
It is. It
It
is.
is hard,
We used to have though. My mom used
but
to
I
do
will
it,
figure it
so
out. That's one I really want to do.
that would be fun. And again, we were just talking about the Grove. That may be something we could do down there.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know?
I loved that space when we went and looked at it too. That was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very nice. So, and all right, so that's very, very cool. Tomorrow night at the Burn and Learn. I'm looking forward to that. And Sarah, I did mention early in the show, happy birthday to you. You have a birthday coming up this week. We did celebrate
birthday.
it
Thank you.
yesterday.
Thank you.
So yeah, happy birthday to you, Sarah. So so Jill, now what's this vision board thing we're talking about here?
Okay, so every year I've done a vision board workshop for the last 2 years, 3 years, and it has been amazing in my own life. And so I always do it. I never miss it. And what we've done this year is we've created it as a wake and bake session, but you have to come pre-elevated. We're not waking and baking and smoking during the vision board workshop. However, you're welcome to step outside and do whatever you might need
So
to.
you smoke outside in your car
Yeah,
or whatever
but-
before you come in.
Wake and bake, come pre-elevated. I'm gonna have the magazines. I'm gonna have the oak board, the oak tag, all of the supplies you need. Just come with a, smile.
When is it?
That's on January. January. Where are you? 19th. January 19th.
January 19th, vision boarding for the year 2025.
Yes.
Can you tell people a little bit and where are you going to have it?
So I work out of Iron Health in Harbor Landing in Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay. And that's where it's going to be held.
That's
So it's early. Is it wake and bake?
Yeah, and not super early, like 11.
Oh, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's stoner early.
Yeah.
Forgive me, but
I
don't
like
bring
that
it to
idea.
us.
Please send over more info. That's something I'd like to push because explain to people a little bit about what vision boarding is. I think it's something everybody should do. I have done it in the past. Now I just do it in my mind, but tell me.
Yeah. So vision boarding is essentially putting together an actual. Sorry, you're my kids in the background. You're putting together a large board, and on it, you're going to be putting different pictures of different things you want to happen in your life. So, for example, if you want to go to Bali, then you would put a picture of Bali on there. And what you're essentially doing is you're creating a large form visualization board so that every day you can look at it and manifest it into being.
Almost not have to think about it. So it's constantly in front of you, a visual representation. So you don't have to read anything.
No.
And a lot of people, if you know anything about the mind works very visually.
Mhm.
And a lot of things that you can see in your mind, you can actually make into reality. And
Yeah.
you got to make sure you see the good things in your mind.
And it-
Because you can make
it's
the bad
all-
things real too.
It's all based on that, like
That
if
concept,
you see
right?
it can happen.
Right. So you're
So-
putting together pictures. Let's say I want a new car. So you
Then
put a
you would
picture
put-
of that car. I want to
Yeah.
move to Florida. You put a picture of Florida on there. And if you want to get even more specific, you put a picture of the area you want to live in and the house. Right.
Exactly.
You get real specific with it. And then this way it's a picture in front of you that you can just look at real quick.
And
And it eventually gets embedded in here.
it's the weirdest thing to watch it come to fruition. So, for example, before I got into my space in Harbor Landing, I had this really beautiful pattern all over my vision board, like the first year. Well, 2 years later, if you come into my space, that pattern is all over the space.
And it was there already.
It was there already.
You didn't put it
I
there.
put it there. Like it was there. And
There you go.
it's just it happens. If you can see it, it can happen. If you put it in front of you, if you have a mantra and if you repeat it to yourself, these things do work. And
You
so
do.
I implore you, come for my Wake and Bake Vision Board workshop. It is going to be amazing and we're going to change your life.
All right. Well, there we go. That's a bold statement. And all right. So very, very good. I got you. All right. Well, I like that concept. It's very, very interesting. I hope people do take advantage of that. So, but anyway, do you think there's a way that the two of you could collaborate together on an event?
I'm sure we could come up with something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be interesting,
If the juice is flowing with some yoga. Actually, so a lot of people will hire yoga teachers to come into their organizations, like their businesses, and then directly after the yoga, instead of like going off to eat or do whatever, you immediately go into a brainstorming session because it gets your juices flowing, and your creative juices are some of those juices.
Oh, I see. Oh, like you do a little yoga warm up.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll smoke and then I'll do yoga and then I'll do like my resin because like I'm sitting there for so long with my resin art that like I need to be stretched out in general, but also like I'll sometimes have like such a brain fart on what I want to do, but I need to create something. So that's what I got to do first.
Yeah.
So I actually do that myself.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
So you are yoga. You do practice yoga, Sarah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've been practicing yoga for like 10 years now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Paint, Sarah.
Have you been to one of these yet?
I have not, no.
Well,
I'm like a little hermit. I like to stay in my little spaces, but I've been getting out more. I have been.
Well, no, I think it's important that people like you
Yeah.
get out there, make a name for yourself, and express what you do out there in the community, because both of you, besides your own craft and what you're presenting out there, you also do other things. Like I know, Sarah, you work with Burn and Learn, on the side, you help out over there, and you also do other things. Jill, I know you're trying to set up a little a cannabis group community too down in the Fairfield County area. We're all trying to do things to spread goodwill in the community as well. We have the things that we go out there and we charge for, but there's also things that we go out there and we do for free for the benefit of the community, and I think both of you do that. And I think all of us on this call do that. And I think that's an important key. It's not just about making a living.
Talking about that, I do kind of want to say that I will be doing a stretch and flex for the community at ExpoCon this year.
Yay.
So if you're going to be there, make sure you find out when the stretch and flex is going to be before the whole thing starts.
Yeah, that's a big, that's going to be a big one. That's coming up February 8th and 9th, I think. Is it AquaTurf? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the AquaTurf in Plainville. Yes, I'm hoping to be speaking on that, and I know that's a great idea to do the yoga on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. Maybe do some painting on it.
Yeah,
Talk
honestly.
to Rebecca.
I will,
but,
yeah.
But those are the kind of things that would really make it a little bit more than just like a B2B expo. Not only having all the booths and the speakers and all that, but how about 10 people get together and do an actual paint and sip? How about 10 or 12 people do a yoga stretch? How about 10 or 12 people find us find a side? Yeah, I'm just using small numbers.
Yeah.
But a side room and do a meditation. I don't know what the consumption rules are on that premises. But
I do kind of. They have Emerald Lounge there, so they're subject to Clean Indoor Air Act, so there's no consumption inside. But Emerald Lounge will have their bus in the parking lot, so it's consumption friendly, far more so than the casino was. I know you can just slink off.
oh
and do
God,
whatever
the
at the
casino you
but-
had to walk for miles.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit more. Man, I got my steps in. I kept forgetting stuff in my car. I was like, oh my God, why?
I just took a vape pen inside and like, I'm not messing with this.
No, I kept going to my car. But yeah, anyway, so that's the consumption. You'll be able to smoke inside the lounge and then go in and do any of the activities or
Right. Okay, so that'll be good. Emerald Lounge is great. We had them at the CCSBA party. It was an awesome experience. Those guys are great. So we're running close to the end. I want both of you to have time to give out your info on how everybody can reach you. Sarah, why don't you start? Because I see Jill's doing something. Sarah, why don't you start? How do people reach you? How do they book, if they want to book a paint and sip or if they want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
You can just get in touch with me on Instagram at C Creations. It's SEA_creations with another __ at the end.
Okay, that makes you stand. I did have a hard time finding you. I was using
It's
the single one.
annoying. Well, I'm also shadow banned, so.
Oh, okay. Aren't we all? Okay, so that's C_creations _ if you want to book Sarah, and you are tomorrow night at the Burn and Learn with a paint and puff. And if you're interested, you can go there and get tickets at Burn and Learn, right? Okay, very, very good. Jill.
Sorry about that. I needed another change of venue. You can get in touch with me on Instagram at Salt and Oil Yoga. For now, after January 1st, we will be changing to Canna Yoga Co. Or Canna Yoga Company. And then my website address right now is saltandoilyoga.com. You'll be able to get to me through that address for the next year. It'll just direct you over to the new Canna Yoga Company website. The new website will be cannayogaco.com. So right now, Salt and Oil Yoga. Next month,
Instagram.
thing.
It's all the same on social media and everything, right?
Yes.
All right, and give a quick rundown of the events, real quick. What you
Okay, here we go. January 7th, I am getting together with Urban Legends and Starlight Social in New Canaan for Canna Yoga. On January 19th, we're having our vision board workshop in Stamford. On February 2nd, the Fine Fettle Flow in Manchester at Illicit Brewery. On February 16th and then March 9th, East Hartford, Canna Yoga at the Munchie Face Treat Suite. And don't forget, I'm certifying Canna Yoga teachers. Come be a Canna Yoga teacher. 2025 is our year.
And now when does that start? When do you expect to start that?
How
many people do you need to get? You want to
probably Q2 in 2025. We've got a wait list. So join the wait list. Get on my website at saltandoilyoga.com and join the wait list because there's a wait list now.
And this is for people who have already been certified 200 hours
200 hours
as a yoga
is
instructor.
the prereq, yeah.
Okay, so this is to turn yoga instructors into Canna Yoga instructors. Very nice. All right. Thank you both for coming on the show. Any last words?
No, he's
all right.
Yeah,
very, very
thank
good.
you.
Lou?
All right, we would love for all of our guests to remember, stay happy, healthy, and high. Till our next show, Joe.
Yes, we'll see you all next week. Next week will be the last show of the year. We got Kamora Harrington coming on. It's going to be a great show. We're going to go over, what's going to be happening for next year. Kristen, any last words?
No, it was great seeing you guys. Love to see your faces. And have a great week.
Yeah, great show, guys. Keep up the good work out there. Harry, hit that music. I'm ready to roll. Like, share, subscribe, follow us at Greenhaven Media. You can follow me at Joe the Weed Guy. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.